I never imagined that one impulsive choice could destroy everything I had built with the person who trusted me most. At the time, I told myself it was nothing, a fleeting, reckless act that would vanish if I simply buried it deep enough. I convinced myself it didn't mean anything, that it wasn't love or even passion, just a desperate attempt to feel noticed again. I thought my marriage could survive untouched, that if I smiled and played the perfect wife, the secret would fade away like a bad dream. But guilt isn't a thing you can lock away and forget. It leaks through every crack. It shows up in the tremble of your voice, in the way your eyes shift, in the heaviness of your laugh. Even when my husband's warm brown eyes met mine, I couldn't hold his gaze for long. Something inside me knew he would find out. Somehow. Someday. And when that day came, nothing would ever be the same. But it didn't happen with shouting or doors slamming. There were no dramatic confrontations, no screaming matches or broken dishes. The change was so quiet I almost missed it at first. He stopped holding me when we lay down to sleep. The warmth of his arm that once wrapped around me at night vanished. He stopped asking how my day had been, stopped looking for my smile when he walked in the door. The little kisses, the ones that had felt like second nature, as natural as breathing, just stopped. At first, I told myself he was exhausted, maybe stressed at work, maybe distracted. But deep down, the truth began to settle in. He knew. He didn't need my confession. He didn't need proof. It was there already, in my eyes, my voice, my behavior. And instead of calling me out, instead of accusing me, he just went silent. It was a silence that swallowed me whole. One night, I leaned in to kiss him, desperate for some sign that we were still us. But he turned his head away, pretending to be absorbed in his phone. That moment cut deeper than any insult, deeper than any punishment I could have imagined. In that instant, I realized I had lost him, not in a physical sense, but in every way that mattered. He was still in our home, still sleeping beside me, but he was no longer mine. The man lying next to me wasn't my husband anymore. He was a stranger who wore his skin. What came after was worse. He didn't leave me. He didn't even yell at me. But he also didn't love me anymore. Nights that had once been filled with warmth and closeness turned mechanical, hollow. He no longer kissed me, no longer whispered my name in the dark, no longer searched for my eyes. Instead, he touched me with a coldness that felt deliberate, a reminder that I was no longer his partner, but an object. A punishment. Every time it happened, I felt myself shrinking. My shame dug in deeper. I wanted him to either forgive me or walk away, but instead he left me trapped in a limbo where I was neither his wife nor his lover, just a body, a ghost of who I used to be. I tried to win him back. God, how I tried. I cooked his favorite meals. I wore the clothes he used to love. I tried to talk to him with the same playful tone I once had. But he barely looked at me. He ate in silence, walked past me as if I were invisible. And when I begged him to speak to me, his eyes said everything his lips refused to. I had broken the one thing that held us together, trust. And without trust, there was no love left to rebuild. Day by day, the walls between us grew higher. He stopped asking where I was going. He stopped caring if I came home late. For a brief moment, I mistook it for freedom. But it wasn't freedom. It was abandonment. He no longer cared if I was near or far, no longer cared if I was by his side or 1,000 miles away. He stayed in the house, but I had been erased from his life. And still, he didn't leave me. That was the cruelest part. He stayed, not out of love, but as a living reminder of everything I had destroyed. Every day his presence told me, without words, that I was the one who had ruined us. The silence was like a cage. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. One night, I broke down. I sobbed until my body shook. I confessed everything, the affair, the shame, the regret. I told him I still loved him, that it was a mistake, that I would do anything to make it right. My heart pounded so hard I thought it might burst as I waited for him to explode, to yell, to accuse, to demand answers. But he didn't. He simply looked at me, his face unreadable, his eyes colder than I had ever seen them, and said 3 quiet words I already knew. That was it. No shouting, no threats of divorce, no dramatic scene. Just calm, chilling certainty. That calmness was worse than any fury he could have unleashed. If he had screamed, at least I would have known he still cared. If he had cried, I would have seen that I still mattered to him. But his silence, his composure, told me something far more painful, that I was already dead to him. He didn't want me back. He didn't even want an explanation. In his eyes, I was nothing more than a burden he had chosen to keep for reasons I didn't dare to ask. The absence of love, the absence of hate, the absence of everything, that was my true punishment. Now every day feels like a slow death. He lives with me, but it's as if I vanished. He doesn't kiss me. He doesn't hold me. He doesn't love me. And when he touches me, it's not closeness, it's a weapon, a reminder. His silence cuts deeper than any words ever could. Sometimes I catch him looking through me, as if I'm not even a person anymore, just a shadow haunting the life we once shared. I used to think losing him would mean divorce, separation, the end of our marriage. But I was wrong. Losing him means living beside him every day, knowing I no longer exist in his heart. It's a life sentence with no release. I carry my mistake like a curse now, trapped in a marriage that has already died. I thought cheating would give me freedom, excitement, something new. Instead, it destroyed me from the inside out. My husband didn't leave, didn't fight, didn't forgive. He simply stayed, cold, distant, and unreachable, reminding me with every breath I take of the price of betrayal. And as I lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling in the darkness we share but no longer inhabit together, the cruelest truth of all settles over me. I haven't just lost my husband. I've lost myself. Every day I wake up to the same reality, a man beside me who used to be my world but is now a stranger. His silence speaks louder than any argument could. His distance weighs heavier than any punishment. And I know now that what I thought was a harmless secret has become the slowest, most devastating kind of revenge, indifference. He didn't destroy me with anger. He destroyed me by refusing to feel anything at all. And in doing so, he showed me the true cost of betrayal, not just losing the person you love, but losing the version of yourself you were when they still loved you back. This is the life I built out of one reckless moment. This is the price I pay every single day.